All right, every pony. Chapter 2 of Fallen Shards. Chapter 2. The Transformation. You did what? What were you thinking? I cried. What do you mean? Setting up an alliance with the Griffins was a good idea, Celestia barked. Maybe it seemed like so at the time, but Griffins only care about themselves, and if an enemy of ours offers them more than what we do, then they will turn on us. Also, you do not consult me on this matter. I am the Princess of Night, as well as your sister. We should talk about these kinds of things first, before you go off making alliances all willy-nilly, I said. Well, more like shouted. Oh, what should I do? Things have gotten even worse between me and Celestia. I know that she is the eldest, but she should think things through before she does these kinds of things. If this is about the good of Equestria, then we should sit down together sometime and think it over, not just immediately go off and do it. As I stormed out of the room and away from my sister, I heard her call out that this would be a good thing. I feel the darkness inside of me getting stronger, as if feeding on every single little argument my sister and I make. It's as if the darkness is inside me, beckoning me, calling me to come and join it again. I knew that Celestia would be going to bed soon. Finally, a time when I can work without someone who does not think things ahead, complain about what I am doing. As I walk around the outside of the castle, I remember a dream that a pony named Starlight Glimmer once had. Whoa! In the dream, both me and my sister had turned evil. I had turned back into Nightmare Moon, and Celestia turned into Daybreaker. Although Daybreaker had never come about before, I knew that she was in there, somewhere, buried deep, or not so deep, in my dear sister's soul. Even the citizens knew who Daybreaker was when Starlight let it slip out. The next evening, after I had woken up, but before my shift started, I decided to go into town, and what I saw shocked me. Celestia was standing in the center of a stage, speaking to a very large group of ponies, and she seemed to be talking about things that should not have been shared to the public, but that also was not consulted with me. Every pony, listen to me, Celestia boomed. I have some very exciting news. Starting tomorrow, I am allowing the castle to be open to the public, and not just the throne room, but every room. It is only for 3 days, sadly, but I have decided that it would be fun for you to see where the greatest princess lives. Also, I have decided that an alliance with the Griffins is a right decision. Furthermore, the kingdom of Equestria will no longer have an alliance with the Hippogriffs, Celestia concluded. I could not believe my ears. How could Celestia be so idiotic? First, she opens up our private home to the public. Then she declares her alliance with the Hippogriffs to everyone. And finally, she ended the alliance with the Hippogriffs. The hippogriffs provide us with a strong navy and fresh supplies. How could Celestia do this? And she did it all without telling me a single thing. I felt mad. No, I felt furious. More furious at Celestia than I had in a long time. As I flew up onto the stage, I shouted, "What were you thinking? You did not tell me about any of this," I said angrily. "What could you ever do that is superior to me? You could never agree with any of my ideas anyway." Celestia scoffed. "We are sisters, and we rule together as equals. You cannot just shut down our alliance with the hippogriffs just like that." I was getting hysteric now. I could see that Celestia was starting to get mad, too. What I did not realize was that every pony gathered in the front of the stage looked very worried. "Oh, is this what you are worried about? Ending the alliance with the hippogriffs? Don't worry about it. I already stopped it so that you would not have to deal with the issue. They were upset, but they will come around," said Celestia. "You already shut it down? We need them as allies, Celestia, and we need you to stop interfering in our relationships with other kingdoms, or at least let us have a discussion before you do anything rash." I was almost exploding with rage now. "Rash? You are calling my actions rash? They are anything but rash. I am doing this for the good of Equestria. I thought that was your goal as well. Or is it not anymore? I am the superior ruler of Equestria, Luna, whether you like it or not." Celestia seemed to be getting almost as mad as I was right now. I do not know how much more of this arguing I can take. As the citizens looked out onto the stage and watched as their two rulers quarrel, they noticed that as they got angrier, a feeling of fear and dread seemed to move through the crowd. The sisters continued to argue, however, each getting more and more angry. They had moved away from the issues of the kingdom's alliance to more personal issues. The citizens of Equestria had never seen the princesses get this mad at each other. Sure, everyone has experienced some awkward moments when the princess had little arguments in public, but it had never been this bad before. Finally, as the sisters seemed to be at the peak of their argument, a power so evil seemed to burst from the chests. From Luna, a black power came and seemed to surge around her. From Celestia, fire did the same. When the smoke and fire had cleared, a sight on the stage had ponies running to their cottages. For on that stage stood Nightmare Moon and Daybreaker. The end.